Live from Los Angeles, I am Eric Weber here. Sunday night show, the flagship show, our box office spectacular as we get into Avatar 2. Is it going to hit 2 billion? I know we talked about this weeks ago when it debuted. We have a much better picture of where this film is headed, certainly after the Christmas corridor, which is winding down right now. We do the inside info here. We don't mess around with all this stuff, other journalists dig into. Look at what we have right here. We have the actual email from Disney. Let's go through the numbers right now for Avatar 2. After just its third weekend through today, the 1st of 2023, Avatar: The Way of Water has already grossed an estimated 1.379 billion globally. So that is 422 domestic and 957 international / overseas, with 153 million of that coming from China. China picked up this weekend. It was up like 40% in a weekend over last weekend. So it looks like the COVID restrictions are relaxing. People are coming out to see Avatar in China, which is going to help the numbers, obviously, as we see those international numbers pop at almost a billion. We might even get to a billion tomorrow. It's going to be, I bet it happens tomorrow. It remains the number one non-local movie across the world for a third consecutive weekend. That's interesting. I love how they put that in the PR releases, non-local. The 15th highest global release of all time, just behind the original Black Panther with 1.38 billion global, but surpassing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Second highest global release of 2022 to date, as we know, behind what? Top Gun Maverick. The question becomes this. Go through some more numbers here. Will it get to 718 million domestic? I think that's not going to happen. Okay, we can talk about whether this film is going to get to 2 billion, because right now, I think a lot of you are still saying it's a lock. And let me tell you, we're at 1.4. Now, granted, that's a really big number. No one's arguing that. But 1.4, let me help you with the math. And then 2 is $600 million. Now, it is making a ton of money right now, and let me tell you why. There are two main reasons that Avatar 2 is making the money it's making. Very simply. Number one, the Christmas corridor. We talked the weekend of release here when it underperformed, and yes, it did underperform. I don't care what anyone tells you. The trades agree. Everyone with any kind of knowledge whatsoever of the industry knows that it did underperform opening weekend. But I stated during that stream and on Twitter, everywhere, that the Christmas corridor was key. It was there for the taking. And as you've seen over the last 2 full weeks now, it has picked up steam, and now we're looking at roughly 1.4 billion worldwide. Now, that's number one, Christmas corridor, which is everybody's out. They're looking for things to do, and they're going to go to the movies. The second part of that, there is no direct competition for this film in the marketplace right now. In fact, I'd argue there's nothing that is interesting in this marketplace. Today, I was sitting there looking at my AMC A-list going, okay, I've got 3 movies per week. What do I want to see? And I looked through the movies. I'm like, I don't want to see any of these. I really don't want to sit through the Whitney Houston movie for the runtime alone, 2.5 hours. And then you have this list of other forgettable films. I already saw Puss in Boots. It's fine. It's not great, as some of you are saying, but it's okay. And then you have The Menu, which I loved, but I don't know if I want to see it again. The magic of The Menu is that you don't know where it's headed, right? So that's where that film really excels, is keeping you in the dark throughout the entire journey. So I'm sitting there going, I don't want to sit through Avatar 2. You guys know how I feel about the film. I mean, especially at 3 hours and 12 minutes, no chance I'm sitting through that movie ever again, ever. But when you have nothing in the marketplace, by default, you're going to get people that go into the movies. They're like, yeah, let's just go see, Avatar. So that is part of it. I don't care what any of you say. That is part of the situation with Avatar. Christmas corridor and no competition. Now, if Warner Brothers had left Shazam in the marketplace, I'll tell you, I think Avatar's numbers certainly are lower. And I think Shazam would have done pretty well because there's room for movies right now. As I just said, there's nothing to see. So any product that you put in a theater is going to do decently, well, other than Babylon, that now, as of today, is only 70 million behind recouping at least its budget of 80 million. It's at $10 million through today. But there's just not a lot of interesting, uh, certainly compelling films out there to see other than Avatar. So it's done very well. It's cleaned up during the Christmas corridor. Now we're going to see, can it continue as we go back to life, right? Soul to soul. Back to life. Don't make me sing. But as you go forward here, people are not going to be off all week like they have been the last 2 weeks. There's some schools that do go this week. That'll help a little bit. But you're going to see those numbers start to come down starting on Wednesday, because tomorrow's an official holiday. And then Tuesday is kind of a day where people are like, I'm going to take another day. And then pretty much most people will be back to and getting into 2023 on Wednesday. Those numbers will start to come down. So we'll see. But 600 million is what it needs to get to 2 billion. Now, even if it doesn't get to 2 billion, let's say it gets to 185, 195, it's still, by virtue of making what it's making here stateside and overseas, it should be on the high side of making a profit, especially when you throw it back into the Disney Plus subscriptions and, put it into a POV situation, PPV, and you've got that going on. So as you go forward, I mean, the film's not going to lose them money. And obviously they have 3 and 4 ready to go. So it better, you need this film to do well to get those things off the ground as well. So let's talk about it. Let's get to the comments here on this Sunday night. First and easiest way to get to the top of the list is to hit me with Super Chat. That'll get you in right off the bat. But of course, first comments will go first. And here we go tonight. Kevin Davis, good evening to you. Avatar, The Way of Water will pass 2 billion. I think right now it's going to get close. I'm not saying it's a lock. It looks certainly a lot better than it did opening weekend. Okay. That's reality. And at the time that we made the statements we did, it looked like the film was going to come up short. And I still am not saying it's a lock. Okay. I think, Kevin, you're a little too sure of yourself here, because 600 million is not like just some jump change. I mean, $600 million is more than most films gross their entire lifetime worldwide, right? I mean, look at Thor. Thor's at like 60 maybe worldwide. So it's got to do another almost Thor to get to 2 billion. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm telling you, don't think it's a slam dunk. It is not a slam dunk, okay? Slam dunk is for sure, right? Hello. There's still a chance it doesn't. Let's make sure that's perfectly stated. Cell phone, never doubt James Cameron seems it has more replay value than I don't think it does. I don't think it has the replay value you think it does. I think this is just simply a case of a lot of people are still curious. They want to go see it. Obviously, they saw the first one, the highest grossing film for the longest time until Endgame finally took it out so many years on. But when you look at the film, there's nothing else to see. So people go to the multiplex and go, well, we'll just see Avatar. I don't think this has the replay value of Maverick. I don't think it has the replay value of, what was another film that did really well? Batman, I think, had a lot of replay value, even though it was a long film. The Batman has far more replay value to it than Avatar 2. Avatar 2, I'm sticking to my guns. This is a film, and I was there, by the way. I'd like you to know, I was there opening night for those of you who are like, Eric doesn't like Avatar. This is my lanyard from the Dolby night, the opening gala. So listen, the film for me is an absolute drag. It's a repeat of the first. You guys know how I feel, but I'm disassociating myself, how I feel about that, with this film and really trying to analyze what it's doing. And I do not believe it has the replay value you think it does. It is all about, in this place, it is all, okay. I love it. Let's go, guys. Bring it. Bring it in to MMT. I'm ready. And I will not shy away. Give me a super chat. You're in. But it does not have the replay value you guys think it does. It doesn't. It's too long. If he made it 2:15, it would. That extra hour kills kills, unless you just want to go in like halfway through and leave, right? The replay value of coming in after 45 minutes, or actually, if you really want to do it right, you would skip the first hour, which is a complete replay of the first, right? Here's your rerun of the first movie. And then you have Let's Explore the Ocean Kingdom, whatever the hell the name of that place is. And then the third hour is when you step in. So go in like 2 hours in. That's the replay value of this film. I want to see how I'm going to spin. I'm not spinning. Listen, no one is spinning it. Here's again, let's go through some more things from the email as we go here, and we're going to get into M3GAN in a minute. I know a lot of you want to talk about M3GAN, and trust me, I can't wait. I'm seeing it Tuesday. Stream coming up Tuesday night with spoiler-free review of the film on Tuesday. So let's see here. In its third weekend of release, Way of Water's already achieved the following records. Here's the records right now. You ready? Among the top 10 films of all time in Vietnam, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Romania, Turkey, Hungary, Slovakia, and Bulgaria. You guys want the nitty-gritty details? Here we go. Highest grossing title during the pandemic era in France, Italy, Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Lithuania. On and on it goes with all these each thing. Do you notice the one thing? Here's what I'm going to point to in these emails. And I'm just letting you guys know this is what is happening. Disney is absolutely highlighting the global over the domestic. That's not to say that the domestic is not doing well. I mean, look, when you look at the 3-day of 63.4, it's the same number we had last weekend. But some people thought it was going to go up, right? They thought it was going to go up 6, 7, 8% from last weekend. It didn't. It stayed the same. So there you go. So there's a little bit of a lessening of expectation. If you read these emails like I do, if you read the articles, a lot of this is about international. And obviously it's a big part. The money's the money, okay? As far as the breakdown, and let's say this, like, so China clearly gets a bigger cut of the money made in China than a lot of countries. Each deals individual with the countries. I don't have that information, I'm not privy to it in front of me, but I can tell you this, that in America, obviously, you don't get to keep all the cash. The theater gets some, the distribution, all that stuff, the advertising, all that stuff adds into the price. So it's not like it's all profit, right? That's the mistake everyone makes, is that it is not all profit. But as we continue here, let's go through. I'm going to look at the IMAX numbers real quick, IMAX and 3D. That is the other thing that's helping this film without question. The fact that it is a 3D film, people are paying the upcharge for the LPF screens, a large premium format with the 3D, IMAX 3D, Dolby 3D, Regal 4DX. All these things cost more cash. So your individual money on the ticket is higher per person. So here it is here. In just 19 days, it's reached 152.2 million in global IMAX box office, now behind only Avatar, The Force Awakens, and Endgame. That is IMAX's top 3 of all time. So it's the 4th, and it is climbing. So as we say, IMAX continues to be a big moneymaker for any film that is crucial that you see it in that LPF format, which this is. More comments here, and then we'll get into M3GAN. I think we've done a really fair and balanced look at Avatar 2. For those of you like, oh, he's biased. He doesn't. Nope. No and no. Wrong. Are you kidding me? It's like 95%. It's 95. And it's not at 2 billion yet, guys, by the way. So everyone who's doing a victory lap right now, first of all, why are you? Because I'm not going to do a victory lap if it doesn't get to 2 billion. I'm just going to say we pointed out that there were some issues early with the film, but it has picked up. Just like I said, nothing's changed. That's what makes me laugh so much at the people out there, the haters, who as much hate watch as they do you guys who really are fans of the show, and thank you everybody out there, even the haters. But it's laughable to me because you're not even seizing on anything. You're literally spinning stuff that was never said, and just like, here's what I said. When we look at the early numbers, that opening weekend, and that's all you have to look at, is that it looks like it's gonna be 1.7, 1.8, maybe 1.9, somewhere in that range. It still can be there. It's not over. It's just unreal to me, these people. Of course I was right with opening numbers. Hello, just Avatar fans being tribal. I've decided I want to divorce and not that I ever was married, I want a divorce from film Twitter. Like, I don't even want anything to do with that mosh pit of misery that is film Twitter. I want nothing to do with those people. I mean, because it runs against everything that I believe in my life, in how I run my life, that this is fun. This is a hobby. This is an enjoyable thing that I like to do. But I also live a real life, as opposed to a lot of people out there that literally, no wonder they like Avatar. They want to live inside of a video game instead of go out and live an actual life. So I would like a divorce from film Twitter. Not that we were ever married, because trust me, I would never put a ring on film Twitter, ever. But I don't want any part of it. It's just, ugh, it's nauseating. Chris Gore, good evening to you. Babylon, what? Yes, Babylon, that is bombing, 100% bombing right now. Let's get into M3GAN, because M3GAN did debut in 3 markets. It was France. Let me pull up the email. France, Mexico, and what was the third one? I'm trying to remember. Whatever the third one is, I'll have it in a second. But when you look at these numbers, let's pop it up. I want to make sure, though, here's the thing. When I pop up the email, last thing I need you guys to see is like email addresses, so that you're like, hey, let me email the Universal people. Like that I do not need. So let's get down here. Here it is. Here's the Universal email. M3GAN debuted in Mexico. Let's roll down. We don't want to hear about Puss in Boots, which, by the way, is doing well. I mean, it's the only other film to see in the marketplace. It's the only other option that you have other than that. Okay, come on. Where are we? We're scrolling through the email. It's still going on and on about it. Okay, no, we still don't. We're trying to get to M3GAN. Where are you, M3GAN? Okay, everybody, bear with us. Or get through the email. Where the hell is M3GAN? I think I made the font too big on there. It is. Thank you. Okay, M3GAN began its international rollout this weekend in France, Mexico, and Belgium. Damn it, that was the third. Reaching 3.3 for the weekend. Now, you guys are like, 3.3. But listen here. This is what's key. Excluding previews, the openings are in line with Smile, Above the Boy, and Happy Death Day. So that means this is a film that could be in the 20 millions if it gets stateside. Just looking at it right now, I know it's only like 1 day or 2 days or a weekend. I get it. But when Universal, they know how to look at these things, right? So Mexico enjoyed an excellent start, grossed to 1.7 million this weekend across 1,800 screens. The opening day was in line with The Black Phone, which was a phenomenon in Mexico. So look, right there in the email, it's telling you that it is in line with The Black Phone. So using that, because we talk about signs, right? When we talked about Avatar 2, we looked at the signs from an opening weekend, and the signs were not as stellar as we expected, but it did pick up. But this is good sign for M3GAN. It's already in line with a Black Phone, which, as you guys know, opened here at like in the 20s. Black Phone was in the 20s. And Smile was in the 20s. So if M3GAN debuts in the 20s, could we actually be in some kind of situation where it beats Avatar? I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying, what if M3GAN went bonkers? I mean, bonkers. Now, listen, bonkers for this film is really about 25 would be a really good number for M3GAN. I think the early expectations for this film are like 10 to 15, but you can feel that people are looking forward to this child play remix, which is exactly what it is. I know some people already saw it in Mexico. If you've seen it, get on here and tell me what you thought of it. I've heard from people who've already seen it. They've screened it multiple times here in LA. I'm seeing it Tuesday. Is that it's fun as hell. But based on the trailer, you guys could kind of tell that. So I think that we are in for an outperform. The question is, what will the number be? Let's get some comments on M3GAN. If anyone saw it, get in here right now. I'm looking forward to seeing it on Tuesday, and it will. I think it's going to surprise, no question about it, cell phone. I think we're looking at a number that is at least 20, maybe higher. But that M3GAN is whack. I mean, it looks, it's a total ripoff of Child's Play, right? But how many movies are just complete ripoffs of other films, derivative of everything? Every film that we watch, Avatar, how many? It's not like that's the first time we've ever seen that film, right? I didn't say no way. Get out. Maybe if I did, I said there's a really good chance it's not. So get out of here. You guys are funny. Here's what can I just say? I want to make sure this is clear. I really need to state this because this was driving me crazy. The people are just, oh. Here's what I love is the one time, maybe two times that you are, maybe we still don't know yet because it's still 600 million away from 2 billion. 600 million dollars. It's on a good path. But let's talk about that. Every other time you're right, they disappear. Oh, where are you? I can't hear you. Wait, are you there? I can't hear. That's the beauty of haters, right? They never are there. They only want to amplify the 0.5% chance the times that you're wrong. And every time you're right, they don't ever, nope. Hey, but you guys are lame. If you're that person, lame. Capital L beyond. That's why a divorce from film Twitter is absolutely, it's over. I'm done. I don't want any part. And you know what? Hopefully you don't want to be part of film Twitter. It's like, ugh, take a bath. It's like, ugh, give me a shower. I want to see M3GAN. Kevin, good evening to you. I'm even more excited about Plane. You see the whole thing in Plane. The entire movie is right there. It's like, I can't stand that. No, I don't want to talk about the Ohio State and Georgia game. Don't do this to me, even though you're doing this to me, Gone Girl. I will say this, because you guys know I went to the Ohio State University. I'm proud of how the Buckeyes fought back after getting absolutely embarrassed against Michigan. They came into a game against Georgia, the number one team in college football by far, and everyone thought they would lose, including me. I thought they'd lose by 10 or more. The fact that they kept that thing competitive and should have really won that game, and instead of that field goal at the end, they actually get a touchdown, not the missed field goal. Before that drive, the game's over. Ohio State's playing for the title. So listen, I'm used to disappointment from my Buckeyes, but what I loved is the resilience that Ryan Day and the Buckeyes showed against Georgia. So thank you for actually asking that question, because we can talk sports if you want. By the way, I think I want to do another MMT Gets Freaky tonight. I really do. I'm in the mood, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to show another one. Let's see. Yeah, the kick was bad. Here's the crappy part about that kick, and we'll get back to movies quickly, I promise. Ruggles, the kicker for Ohio State, very good career with the Buckeyes. And then literally how he's remembered, right? He just hit that field goal moments before. How he's remembered forever is you missed that kick. You hooked it left. Like, oh my God. Like, I just cannot believe it. Thank you, Seth, for noticing. I got a better light. So now the background's going to super pop. I mean, listen, I'm telling you what, no one beats this. No one beats what we got going here. As far not one person. I've looked around. Not that I've looked around. It's not. Nope. We win. We've already won that battle. So thank you guys for being here. Austin, I don't want to say I love the streams. Your honesty. Haha. Keep it up. Thank you, Austin. Listen, that's what it's about, man. You guys know I do not have time for making shit up or for not speaking what I believe to be the truth. And then it goes back all the way to Avatar 2. Can it get to 2 billion? Oh my God. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. When you are out there and you are stating very strong opinions about things, there are chances you might be a little bit wrong, but it's not like, here's the thing that's amazing too, is y'all acting like I said Avatar 2 was going to end up with 500 million worldwide. Like, that's the ridiculousness of the whole thing. I'm not going to give it oxygen anymore. It's over. It's done. It's done. I was right about Top Gun. Babylon. I said when I came out of Babylon, the stream that Paramount demanded we take down, they said, you can't talk about our film because it's not out yet. And really, more importantly, because you just said it's one of the worst films of the year. Yes, and it is. And I said then that it's going to bomb because it's terrible, just like Amsterdam. Name a stream where I saw it before it opened, and I said this film is going to do well or not do well based on what I just watched. I'm right every time. I didn't say Avatar 2 was going to... I said I didn't like Avatar 2. When you look at the films like Amsterdam, Babylon, The Whale, these are films that have all not done well at the box office. The Whale, by the way, everyone was like, oh, there's so many people that are interested in Brendan Fraser. It's going to do much better than you. No, it's not. because it ultimately is still about a morbidly obese dude stuck in an apartment in Idaho. That's not compelling for the average person. We really like Brendan Fraser. It's a shame that the movie you're in is garbage, a terrible film. It is as you guys know, my number one worst film of all the films that I saw this year. Number one worst film, The Whale. The Whale. Um, Jeremy, how dare you say our film is bad? Which one? I don't know. Oh, anyone in general? Anyone in general? Why do you not like that? Okay, interesting name you have here, SSSRR. First of all, that doesn't make any sense because that's not true. Because I can disprove this in 2 seconds. What was my number one movie of the year? Tar. What was the number one movie of the year for multiple critics groups, including such vaunted critics groups like New York Film Critics Circle? Tar. What was another movie that's on almost every critic's best of list in mine at number 2? After Sun. So instantly this question is nullified. It's over. It's like there's no reason to even address it because it's not true. Because I just gave you 2 examples that destroy it. I mean, we can keep going. The Batman, there's another. RRR, 4. Let's see. What the rest of my top 10 list? I don't even remember it at this point. I've already moved on to 2023. When you look at my film, I don't play favorites. If there's a film like The Whale, by the way, The Whale was not liked by a lot. Look at the reviews. The reviews are going down. So I was right. What I am this is the truth. This is what I am. I am fearless at calling a film early that everyone else wants to stay on the fence because they want to be on the right side of things. So great example is Babylon. I was the first, number one person to get out of that theater and tell you that it was a tonal disaster, a flaming hot dumpster fire of a mess. I said that. I was the first person. You know what else would have happened? If you had somebody like one of my other friends who does, one of our buddies who runs one of the award sites, Mr. Always Want to Be on the Right Side of History, he would have come out and said, oh, I'm not sure about this. Let me think about it. You know why he's doing that? And you guys can hit me in the comments if you want to tell me who I'm talking about. You know why he's doing that? Because he wants to be on the right side of it. Doesn't want to come out and say, Babylon's terrible. And then everyone says it's great. And they, oh, no, I mean, it's good. Who does that? That's not me. You guys know I come right out first person. I don't want to hear what anyone else says. Train wreck, tonal disaster, boom, blow it up. That takes guts, that takes balls, and most critics do not have either of those 2 things. They want to be on the right side. They want to be liked. They want to be part of the group, just like film Twitter. If you don't like the films film Twitter likes, then, oh, you're a bad person. Like me, when I didn't like Everything Everywhere. Oh, you're terrible. And now people are finally coming around, aren't they? Did you guys notice that there's a lot more people saying that Everything Everywhere all at once is overrated? Have you guys been paying attention that all of a sudden that's come around? Oh, who was the first person to say that? Oh, that'd be me. Again, because when you've been doing this long enough, you watch films, you know what works and what doesn't, you can see and pick apart the things that work and do not work. And Everything Everywhere, the things that work, first half of the film, first even 3/4, 2/3, that back third, that back quarter, whatever you want to split it. It's not half, it's a third or a quarter. It is brutalizing and agonizing to sit through. And that's what people are saying. Finally, they're coming around now. But it's like, why do I have to be the first? Why do I have to be the first guy? Why can't some of you be the same way? So this is, come on. It's a silly question. That was a long-winded answer for that, but I did destroy that question in like literally two films. Tar, After Sun. Over. Alan, I beat you. Alan. So we went to Babylon. Alan was there. I came down the stairs. Alan had made a long drive to go see Babylon. I think I gave him condolences for having to do that. But he can attest because Alan was there. I was having a very difficult time not savaging the film even more than I was out loud at the event for Babylon in Beverly Hills. Like that's how angry I was coming out of that film. And Alan can attest. I mean, people are walking away from me going, this isn't good. Like, you're going to get us all kicked out of here because you just keep saying this movie's terrible. Wait, what is this? Sep's actually fun. It's so weird. Critics have one job. You'd think being hated by movie stars is part of it. I mean, that's not what the point of it is. The point of it is to be truthful about your evaluations of film. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks in the industry or anything, but I can tell you from DMs that I get from people that are very well respected in the industry, they say that I have an incredibly good eye for film. And I mean, that's nice to hear, but even if they told me I had a bad eye, I'd still be doing what I'm doing. But I do believe I bring something to the table, and that is fearlessness that most people do not possess. They live in a world that they're afraid to step out of line. They're afraid to say, maybe this isn't the way we're going to do. Right? We saw it for the last 2 years during COVID. Let's just fall in line. Let's just do whatever they tell us to do. When I was from day one, and you guys remember, go back and look at my Twitter feed from back in 2020. From day one, I was like, this doesn't feel right. Everything about this feels off. There's something going on, and it's not what we're being told. And I think now that we're 2 years on, we know that that's true. You know it. Even if you believed in it at the beginning, you know that I'm right now. And I was right then. I have this weird ability to tap into what is happening in the moment and to kind of gauge the truth of it. And I think that's the same for film. When you go into a film, you're trying to gauge how well it executes something. Now, granted, they're not quite the same, gauging what the truth of the situation is versus, and there is a truth, right? There's not just a quote truth, there's a real truth. Or just, whether a thing works or not. But truthfully, they're both in the same vein. And it comes from an objectivity and going into everything without a dog in the fight and just looking at it as objectively and unbiasedly as possible. And for whatever reason, there's too many people in this world that are tribal. And when you're tribal, you can't be objective because let's say you're a hardcore Republican or an incredibly, really hardcore liberal. Whichever way you want to go with that, you have an inability to judge things objectively because you're going to always view it through the lens of liberal conservative. When you are truly in the center like I am, and I am 100% centrist, is I look at everything as what's the value in it, what's the truth in it, and that's how this goes with film too. It's the same thing. So I don't care if anyone likes me. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it shouldn't matter to any of you guys, because if you're trying to be liked, then you're not being you. You're being some kind of fake version. And we have plenty. There's people in this industry that we've talked about on the stream. I don't want to get into it again. That are like that, right? That come into the screenings and are like, hey, everybody, and just like you're not a real person. When I look at those people, I say, you're not real. And when I read them, I go, this isn't a real opinion. This is someone who's trying to get on the good side or say the right thing. And unfortunately, life is all about uncomfortable truths, right? That's what it is you have to sometimes say what is uncomfortable. And that's what we do here. That's what I do, and I will continue to do here on MMT. And I think you guys like it. Thank you, Jennifer. And that's the number one job of what we do here on MMT, is to just be unbridled and unvarnished and straight up. Let's go to. I want to go to one more. No, I did mention this. Babylon for Chris Gore, only $70 million away from getting his budget back. I gotta laugh because the movie's terrible. I mean, I tell you, I don't always like to root, but in this case, I can't lie. I am very happy the film is not doing well. Not because I want to see Paramount suffer or the movie going suffer, because you guys know we don't need to even do, if you're going to ask me, am I a champion of theatrical? Give me a break. There was nobody who was more vocal about going to movies throughout all of 2020. Drove to Vegas with Chris Gore to watch Tenet. It's 4 hours and a half back. 9 hours of drive time in one day to go see Tenet. Don't question me on theatrical. But I am very happy to see Babylon bomb because the movie's terrible, and Paramount should have never greenlit that for Damien Chazelle with that script. It should have never happened. And this is a hard lesson that Paramount is learning here at the end of the year. Now that we're in 2023, they learned at the end of last year and still learning into this year. You don't greenlight garbage scripts like Babylon. When you do, you end up with a bomb like Babylon. It's that simple. So yeah, I am happy about that. I'm not going to lie. Why wouldn't I be? Because we don't want to have bad movies be made. We want to have good movies be made. And don't tell me Babylon was ever going to be good. That script, there's no way that I would have ever greenlit that script the way it came across my desk. No chance. It would have been no way. I don't care who's directing this. I don't care I don't care if God himself is directing his first film. We are not making Babylon. This movie's terrible. And I was right. I would have been right, and I would have saved the studio tens of millions, maybe $100 million by saying we're not making Babylon. I love you, Damien Chazelle. I think you're a very talented director, but this script sucks ass. Get out of here. Hit the road. Come back to me when you have something good. No one has the guts to talk like that, right? I mean, it's Damien Chazelle. Who cares? He's a dude. Damien Chazelle's a guy just like you. Maybe you're a girl. Okay? Whatever your sex you are, you're a person. And who cares? These people are not superheroes. These people are not gods. And that includes me, you, anybody. These are people, and you say, Damien Chazelle, your script's terrible. Hit the road, bro. Get out of here. Come back when you got something good. I don't have time for this. And that's how it literally needs to go. It's not even like nice. There's nothing to sugarcoat. This is terrible. Please get out of my office and come back. I don't care who you are. All right, here we go. Most anticipated films of 2022. Variety had a very good article here, and it lays it out for. I love when a publication does the work for me, so we can just glean their ideas. But we're going to drill down on the stuff. I'm not going to read what they wrote about them because we obviously know enough about them. We don't need to do that. I just need the release dates and the films. Let's go through it. Here we go. Month by month, we're doing it. This is the most anticipated films of 2023, and this is not just according to Variety. They are putting basically all the movies that are coming out that are anything of note. And we start with M3GAN on the 6th. That's going to outperform. I'm telling you now, watch out. Blumhouse has another hit on their hands, and Universal's very excited because they know they're about ready to see a nice return on this film. Let's go to, oh my God, 80 for Brady. I am not watching this film. There is a 0% chance that I will watch 80 for Brady. I saw the billboard the other day driving to the gym, and I go, what I will. And I saw the trailer. Unfortunately, I had no choice. It was in front of something I saw. The only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, because I know I'm going to get savage for saying this. What the hell happened to Jane Fonda's face? I'm just asking the question. I'm not going to get it. When I saw the trailer, I go, oh my God, who is that? You had the same reaction. I mean, is it mean? Listen, I'm just stating the truth. If I came on here with a ton of Botox in my face and all of a sudden you're like, hey guys, how you guys are like, holy crap, Weber, what'd you do to your face? So yeah, Jane Fonda's face is like, ah! Okay. The movie, no way, I'm not watching it. Knock on the Cabin. Someone's going to cut that. Look at that mean guy. He's so mean. What a just mean person. Get out of here, you guys. Here's the thing. Just age gracefully. Age gracefully. Knock on the Cabin. I don't like the fact that the trailer shows us almost everything again, but it does look intriguing. It's M. Night Shyamalan. I think you got a hit on your hand early February. It should do pretty well in that spot. Magic Mike's Last Dance. I love the original Magic Mike. I'm going to defend Magic Mike till the end of time. The first one. The second one, XXL, is horrible. It is one of the worst films of that year, or whatever it was, 16, 17, whatever year that was. Oh my God, Magic Mike XXL. But when I watched the trailer for Last Dance, I said, this is the thing. When I watched the trailer for Last Dance, I said, of all the scripts that I would ever write for a Magic Mike Part 3, it would never be the one I'm watching right now. If you wanted to make a Magic Mike 3, you know what you do? Why is it that I have to be the only person who wants to make this movie? But every one of my movies comes back to this, very simply. A broken down soul that needs to redeem himself, right? Rocky. Only with Magic Mike again. Magic Mike has fallen on hard luck. He's gained some weight, and now he's back in the middle of nowhere, Florida. Not even Tampa, which is where they shot that, Clearwater, Tampa. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, meth central Florida. I love Florida, but I'm just saying, a lot of meth. And right there he is, and he's got to get back in shape, and he's got to get back on the stage over in his old stomping grounds at Clearwater/Tampa, and that's a better film. When I watched the trailer, what the hell is this? He's going overseas to open a cabaret? I mean, who did Channing write this? I need to be a script writer. I'm gonna stop doing the stream and I'm gonna focus on writing scripts because clearly anything I write is better than what Hollywood is doing. So I do not have any interest in watching Magic Mike 3 because the script looks horrendous. It's the absolute opposite of everything I want to see that franchise do because the original Magic Mike kicks ass with Matthew McConaughey, the grittiness of Florida. That's a hell of a film. I love Magic Mike. Ant-Man and the Wasp, we know we don't need to talk about, going to be a huge hit. Hello. Although the MCU, as we know, it got a little fatigue going on right now, but I feel like Ant-Man's the right film to bring it back. And then, of course, Guardians, we'll get to in a minute. Let's keep going throughout February. Cocaine Bear. The trailer is getting a lot of attention because it looks completely goofy and completely ridiculous. It's a film that, unfortunately, I believe the trailer shows the entire movie or all the good parts, but it will be, maybe a niche hit. I mean, it's not going to be a massive thing. This is going to be a hit, right? Creed 3. I mean, Creed 1. Ryan Coogler, what he did for Creed 1 is one of my favorite action, sports dramas of all time. Literally, it's one of the best films. It's so well done. And then Creed 2, solid, not as strong as 1. But I feel like 3, they're doing a great job marketing this thing. You've got Jonathan Majors. You guys know how I feel about Jonathan Majors in that body. I mean, dude, Jonathan Majors, if you want to know what a chest looks like, look at Jonathan Majors' pecs. That is why I'll be at the gym tomorrow trying to get that going. I mean, that is legit. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's in good shape. But that pec, we're going to quick physique critique right here because I don't have one planned for tonight. That is a meaty-ass chest. That is meat. That is some serious meat there on the pecs. I love it. Creed 3 is going to be a huge hit. Huge. Scream 6, I mean, I don't know. Where are they going to go with this film? I don't really have a whole lot of interest. After Scream 5 did not do much for me. So maybe we'll see. I mean, I'm sure it'll do okay, right? I mean, the last one did. There seems to be a lot of fans. Horror's been doing well in the box office. Shazam got the push from Christmas, gets into March. It'll do well. Although I will say during the trailers, during Avatar and anything that it played in front of, the muted response from the audience every time that Shazam Fury of the Gods played, it was not a very rousing response as opposed to Mission Impossible 7 or even Oppenheimer. It was kind of like, Shazam, okay, whatever. And that's kind of how I felt about the first one. I think it's fine. I think the first one's okay. I think it's too long. I think it's the whole thing just gets wearisome as it goes on. John Wick Chapter 4, of course, we know that's going to be big. Lionsgate's like, please just let us have a hit. Hopefully that'll be that for them because they do need to have something going for them. And John Wick has proven itself over and over and over, even though we have seen this film so many times. Who cares? I mean, audiences clearly like to see the same thing over and over. Dungeons and Dragons, Paramount, maybe. I mean, it's Chris Pine. I really love Chris Pine. I think he's super underrated as an actor. But, it's not going to be a huge $100 million film here in the States or anything. But it could outperform. But what you're seeing so far, and we're only like into March, what you're seeing so far as we go through the calendar is that this year, because we're now in 2023. I keep wanting to say next. No, we're here. It is the first. This year is going to be massive for movie going, for theatrical. Look, we're already have so many big films that we've already discussed, and we're only scratching into April right now. Chevalier is not going to be big, okay? And the reason it's not going to be a great film is it debuted at Toronto last year. And instead of releasing it this year, which would be the traditional path you would do if you knew you had a good film, then you would release it this year because it has buzz from Toronto. It's like, let's do this. They push it to April, even though I love Kelvin Harrison Jr. The fact that it is a awards quote unquote film that got shoved into the early part of the year means it's not going to be great. That's not going to be a big hit. Super Mario Brothers movie. Someone was saying to me on Twitter that April 7th is not a date they love. Here's why I like it. It's in the same kind of Sonic spot, right? You got spring break around then. You got people looking for things to do. The weather starts getting nicer. People get out of their houses more. I'm telling you, I think it's in a pretty good spot there. And even though we know that Chris Pratt in voice, everyone's like, it's not going to stop people from seeing the movie. People are going to go see Super Mario Brothers, especially if it's decent. Like, even if it's like halfway as good as the first Sonic. Second Sonic's not as good as the first. But if it's half as good as the first, then people will go see this movie. It'll end up being a hit. So it doesn't matter that Chris Pratt is voicing it, honestly. Renfeld is Nicolas Cage. He's Dracula. I know some people have seen the test screening of this. They said it's not good. That's all I can say. Oh, wait. I didn't see it, so I'm not breaking any kind of rules with the test screening audience. They say that this movie is not good. Renfield, Field, not good. Next Goal Wins. Here's a movie that we've been waiting for like 2 years. This is Taika Waititi. It was supposed to be an awards film going way back. And I think actually Next Goal Wins got shoved. If I'm not mistaken, I think they need to update. I'm pretty sure the Next Goal Wins got shoved into the fall, which means they are higher on it. Searchlight's higher on it. Or is it Fox? Whichever. 20th Century Searchlight, same company, Disney. If it got shoved to the fall, that means they're higher on it. They had to figure out what to do because they've got, what's his name? Army Hammers in it. So they had to figure out how to shoot around that or to just let the time go until, just let the whole thing expire as far as, no one's really talking about Army Hammer anymore. That's what I always say. Whenever there's some shit that goes on like that, just disappear for a while, right? Go away and then come back and then maybe, the fact that these people said he was a cannibal, I don't know, man. He said he wanted to eat a girl's ear or some kinky shit. The dude's obviously weird, but I don't know. He's not a cannibal. Come on, guys. When I read those things, I'm just like, I don't know about that. But maybe he's back for this film. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we know is going to be huge. There's no reason to even go beyond saying it's going to be massive. May 5th, really good date for that, which is, a month after we had Strange, because Strange was April, but May's great. It can clean up all the way through Memorial Day. And then we get into, man, forget about Book Club 2. Okay, no, that doesn't count. When we start looking at these films like Fast X, right? Fast 10, May 19th, huge. Even though 9 was really an abomination. Hopefully 10 is remotely just anything better than 9 will be a win there. Little Mermaid, could we see a bomb? I don't know. I feel like Little Mermaid's, there's a lot of buzz that people are not really thrilled that they even made the movie. Like, what's the point of making this live action? We will see. We know that Disney has had a really, spotty track record when it comes to remaking these live action films. Go back to Dumbo, not a hit. Aladdin, mid, right? Jungle Book obviously did better. When you look at some of these films, that they're the live action remakes, Cruella, technically, that was a hit, but it was also during COVID. But I don't know. I feel like that could be a bad spot. It could be a film that we might be in trouble there. And also remember this, whenever you have too many movies in the marketplace that are hitting at one time, something's going to suffer. One of these films is going to take a hit, and it might be The Little Mermaid. I'm just going to throw it out there here on the first of the year here. Spider-Man Across the Universe, Sony's excited for that. They want a big hit, and that's a good date for that. It gives it some space from Guardians, about a month out from that. Transformers Rise of the Beast. We all make fun of Transformers. Oh, my God, who sees this movies? And then, boom, it ends up making close to $1 billion worldwide because it does well in China. It does well overseas, just like we're seeing with Avatar 2. It's just a stupid, dumb, entertaining film. And I'm sure I'll go to see it, even though I've heard people that saw the test screening and said it's not good. But what do you expect? It's another Transformers movie. No Hard Feelings is more of, and I think, is it A24? I know it's Jennifer Lawrence. It may be Focus. It's kind of this dark comedy kind of thing. That's not going to be a huge hit, but it's good counter program. Flash. Will people go to see DCEU that is now no longer part of the DCEU, right? When this film was shot, we didn't know what was going to happen, and now you have Gunn and Safran in there. Will people go to see The Flash because it's not part of the DCU going forward? We'll find out. Let's keep going through the year. This is very comprehensive. Thank you, Variety, for doing my homework. See, but I'm not, look what I'm not doing. I'm not reading through any of the shit because I know my stuff, right? I don't need to. If you're with like someone like Grace Randolph, sorry, got to do it. She'd be reading the stuff underneath, and she would probably be reading from notes and or looking at a teleprompter because she cannot do live as well. It's the truth of it. Sorry, guys. Truth of it. Champion, boop, give it up. Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny is the 30th, right before the 4th. You get this one in. One thing I do not like about this film from the trailers, I have not talked about it until this very moment. I don't like the CGI look of this film. And when you look at Mangold, who directed this, and you look at what he did with, Logan. When you look at what he did, give me a teleprompter. When you look at what he did with Logan, it's grounded. It doesn't, there's effects, but it's not. When I watch Indiana Jones, I go, wait a second, why does this look so CGI'd out? And I feel like that was a mistake. I don't like the look of it, but I do trust in James Mangold, the filmmaker. I think he has very good style. If you look at Ford Ferrari, one of the best films of that 2019, which is a very strong year. So I think I have faith, obviously, in that film, but I don't like the look of it. The computerized look of Indiana Jones is bugging me. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning could be the biggest film next year because you have Tom Cruise coming off of Maverick. You have a trailer that's been viewed. I mean, that trailer has been seen so many times via, obviously, from Maverick and going through the rest of the year here, Avatar. People are ready. That whole thing with the behind the scenes stunt with the motorcycle, this is all building for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning to possibly, I would say, likely be the biggest film of 2023. Keep moving, Barbie. I bet it's a hit. I mean, there's a lot of anticipation for it. I trust in Greta Gerwig, the filmmaker. I think she knows how to nail oddball tone. She's hung out with Noah Baumbach. There are a couple, even though White Noise is not the film we expected nor really wanted from Noah Baumbach. She's learned a lot from him, and I think she's going to take that smart comedy and use it here when she writes Barbie. And then she's got the performances from Margot Robbie, who, by the way, do not blame Margot Robbie for what happened this year. It's not her fault that she picked two really great filmmakers, and then she had, the two worst films of their career back to back in Babylon and Amsterdam. That's unfortunate for her, but I think that she's going to hit a home run with Greta Gerwig for Barbie. Look for that to be a big hit. I mean, really bigger than anyone expects. Oppenheimer. Universal, the thing that you got to love about Oppenheimer here is Universal is going nuts with the marketing. They are going all in on the marketing for Oppenheimer. When they got Nolan, Universal said, we are going to give you clearly the whole financial backing that we can give you. They have ads running before the end of the year, right? They had ads during football games for Oppenheimer for a film that comes out in July. I mean, that is unheard of. Warner Brothers would not do that. Disney would not do that. Universal did, and Nolan looks like made the right call by going with Universal for his next film versus, thank God, Nolan didn't go to Netflix. No way. If you're a prominent filmmaker, do not go to Netflix. Do not. Go to a theatrical outlet. From now on, I told you guys I am never discussing a Netflix film again until they have a meaningful theatrical component attached. That means AMC, that means Regal, that means Cinemark. Otherwise, I do not want to talk about their films because it's a disgrace and it's absolutely wrecking theatrical by allowing them to exist with these other studios that are doing it right. And Netflix is not. Netflix is putting their films in AMC for 1 week and then yanking it and putting it on streaming. Screw Netflix. 100% screw Netflix. I don't even care. Until they get theatrical, screw Netflix. The Marvels. Did I make that clear enough, guys? The Marvels. I mean, look at this. Guys, we are in July and we are talking. Look at this back-to-back. Barbie, Oppenheimer. The Marvels. Dead Reckoning. I mean, July, assuming everything stays put, this is going to be a record month for the film business. Especially because we all know COVID's over. No one's talking about COVID anymore. Don't even bring that shit into my house. I don't want to talk about COVID. I don't want to talk about, remember, monkeypox? Oh my God. No one wants to do that. We're moving on. It's over. And we have the Marvel sitting there on the 20th of July. And then Haunted Mansion, that's not going to do well. Remember, hey, by the way, what do we always say? As soon as we get to August, we get the dumping ground. And there's Haunted Mansion. Like, perfect. It's like the perfect mid-August film. This Haunted Mansion. Oh, good luck. Disney, good luck with that. Challengers. What the hell is that? Oh, that's Luca again. Okay. So it's a romantic drama with Zendaya. So that's going to be an art house kind of thing, and that'll probably do just fine. Blue Beetle, very interesting to see what DC does with that, right? That is, what is the date on that? The 18th. We saw, you're going to say, well, that date's not great. What film did very well mid-August? Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014 got an August release date, and even I was like, this means this is terrible because August traditionally means dumping ground, and Guardians of the Galaxy was definitely not that. In fact, it outperformed and went insane because it was great. So if Blue Beetle's great, it doesn't matter when it comes out. But that release date does give me pause because kids are going back to school about then. end of the summer, vacations, people aren't paying attention to movies. So maybe Warner's knows something about that. Haunting in Venice, good date on that when you look at Death of the Nile and whatever the hell the first one was. Train, God, whatever it was. Yeah, the third. This will do well because it's in fall, and that's when we start to get back. Hopefully we can start to see these films that come out in the fall be big again, these adult dramas, because we saw this fall really struggled. I mean, so many of these films struggled to make their money. I mean, forget Babylon, The Bomb. Look at any movie, Tar, Fablemans, Banshees of Inisherin. All these films were, critically lauded, and they did not do well at the box office. So we hope that gets turned around in 2023. And we'll find out when we get to, the next big adult drama. But really, that's not going to happen until the fall, because the studios know that the awards window starts in September and ends in December. So you're not going to get a great film that is in that outside that window. Typically, you're not. It's rare. I mean, there's Everything Everywhere, Black Panther, Get Out, a few of those. But otherwise, you're not going to get that. David Gordon Green's directing The Exorcist, so I have really no hopes for this film. You guys know how I feel about Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is a desecration to the Halloween franchise. And I would, if I said during the stream after coming out of Halloween Ends, and I still maintain to this day, if I came out of Halloween Ends, the first screen, I was over at Universal as one of the execs, and they said, hey, what do you think of this? I would instantly kick David Gordon Green out of the room. I would say, we have an emergency meeting, everybody. Right now, we got to talk. Based on what I just saw from Halloween Ends, we are removing David Gordon Green right now from The Exorcist. It's over. Whatever he shot, we're going to shelve it. It's going to be Batgirled, and we're done with it. And we're going to restart with a whole new director, because that is one of the worst films of the year. And David Gordon Green, you talk about the elephant taking a shit on the audience in Babylon. David Gordon Green unloaded everything that he could possibly unload out of his own ass onto the audience for Halloween Ends. Horrible. If he doesn't destroy The Exorcist, it'll be a miracle. I'm sure there'll be some comedy in The Exorcist, because that's what David Gordon Green likes to do. Let's put some goofball comedy into our super dark, scariest movie of all time. Oh, if I'm right, by the way, if I am right about this, about David Gordon Green destroying The Exorcist, then I need to get hired. I want a studio to hire me right now. And I will be the guy, because I'm telling you, as soon as I walked out of Halloween Ends, I'd walk down and say, you're gone. It's over. Your office is off the lot, and you're leaving, because that movie's terrible. And I can't believe we ever agreed to do this with you. You're never making The Exorcist. I'll do it. All right. Oh, you kidding me? You talk about number one anticipated film of the year is Dune Part 2. Dune was my number one film of 2020. Right? Oh my God, I'm losing all the years now. 2021. So when you look at Dune 2, the completion, if it's anything like what Denis did in 1, then we're looking at one of the best films of the year, no question, and a film that already won so many Oscars that year. This film is the number one Oscars film of the year. I'm going to get ready to do that on Awards Day soon, but there's no question this is number one. David Fincher's The Killer is number 2, even though it's Netflix. Oh, I'm going to have to find some way to watch that, because I'm sure there will not be a theatrical on that, but I'm not going to discuss The Killer. That's going to suck. I'm going to want to talk about David Fincher's The Killer, but I just said I cannot talk about it because it is a Netflix film and they do not have theatrical, so I will not talk about it. That is going to be the hardest period of my life. It's certainly evaluating films, not discussing a film because they don't have a theatrical component. Netflix, get off your ass and get it done. Hunger Games, another Lionsgate hopeful here. I mean, you're wondering, why did they reboot it? Because Lionsgate needs films. They only have John Wick. They're like, please. By the way, who's that kid? Does that kid not look exactly like Ryan Gosling? He's like a younger version of Ryan Gosling in one of my favorite movies. Listen, the first third, it might be my favorite first third. I don't know of any film, but it's way up there. The Place Beyond the Pines. That opening scene, if you guys have never watched Place Beyond the Pines, keep watching the stream. We're going to keep going for a little bit. But when it's over, go find Place Beyond the Pines, wherever it's streaming, and just watch the first 45 minutes. It might be half hour. I don't even know. However long that Ryan Gosling's in the film. And when you watch it, you're going to be like, my God, that's Ryan Gosling. Who is that kid? He looks just like him. I'm sure that's why he was cast. Like, hey, we need a Ryan Gosling guy. Does it say who he is? Hunter Schafer? Is that who it is? I don't know. Wish, don't know what that is. Although I know that Ariana DeBose obviously is coming off of the Oscar win and everything that West Side Story. God, I've been doing the stream too long. Now I'm starting to forget films. This isn't good. I so apologize for taking a second to remember West Side Story because it was so forgettable. Still better than The Fabelmans. And then we wrap here with Wonka. And for those of you that are going, I don't know about Wonka. I don't know about Timothy Chalamet. All you need to know about Wonka is that it's directed by Paul King, and Paul King directed the Paddington films. That's all you need to know. So that's why I have absolute faith in that. The one thing I want to see from Timothy Chalamet, and then we'll get into the comments because we've done every film, 38 films. And by the way, there might have been one or two that we kind of glossed over. We really dug into each one without reading the caption because we don't need that. We know the studio, we know who's directing it, and we know if it's going to be a hit or not. That's what MMT does. Live, not tape, not edits, not none of that crap. So let's get into the comments here in a moment, but that is going to be big. I want to see Timothy Chalamet, though, just unleash himself. Go full on Johnny Depp, not hold back, get into character. He didn't do that in the Cannibal movie. I'm honestly forgetting all the names of the movies now. Bones and all, which is behind me. I just want to see him go crazy. Okay. Oh, my God. I got 112 comments. Okay. Listen. I'm going to get to as many as I can before we get off. If you want to get in, you got to do a super chat. There's just too many of you. I can't. It's just the channel's growing. You guys all rock. I want to get to as many as possible. But unless you give me a super chat, it's very hard to get through here. I'm going to have to just gun through here. James Cameron's in the house. Yes, of course. Avatar: The Way of Water is the best movie ever made, Eric, and you know it. I love it. I love when James Cameron's here. I guarantee you that James Cameron is on Twitter. He has a burner account, and I know he's interacted with me because I have savaged that film repeatedly. When I went to see it, I said I hated it, and then I said opening weekend was down. He's on there, and I know I've interacted with him. I know it. I know Cameron's on Twitter, and I know I've interacted with him, so I'm ready for you, James Cameron, and I would still tell you to this day, if I ran into you at AMC, at a bar, at an event, I would say, man, you messed up and made that movie an hour too long. I would, and he might say, get the hell out of here and throw a punch. I don't care because I would absolutely be correct. So in your face, James Cameron. I saw an hour and 25 minutes of Amsterdam and couldn't take any more of it. Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. It's so bad, isn't it? I warned you guys. What's the biggest fall from grace? Don't Worry, Darling, Wonder Woman 84, Love and Thunder, Eternals, Babylon. I don't know if I'm understanding this. Listen, first of all, I like Don't Worry, Darling. You guys know I defended that film. I think that it is far better than a lot of you do, and it's very well made, and give Olivia Wilde credit. That's a very well-directed film. It's got a ton of style. I love the cinematography of that film, and the score is interesting. It's really a cool film. I'm sorry, it's good. Wonder Woman 84 is terrible, even though Wonder Woman 84, hold on, let me pull it up here. It's down. It's covered up by the banner. It's covered up by the banner. Let me see if I can get rid of all the banners. Yeah, no, I can't. Whatever, it's there. Wonder Woman 84 is just atrocious. I can't stand that movie. It's the worst comic book movie of all time. Of all time. Okay. All right. Let's listen. Here we go, Timothy. I like this. Let's go. You don't always view other people's opinions. You think you're always right. Plus, you always act like a shill. What? Timmy, this is my favorite comment ever. Who cares if Scott Mans is positive? Scott Mans is a shill. I'm a shill? What? So stupid, you guys. Mans is the biggest, not the biggest shill. The biggest shill works for Fandango. I'm not going to mention names anymore. I don't even want to deal with this. Not that because we're doing a service here. I'm not a shill. It's embarrassing, Timothy. Timothy Chalamet, I'm sorry that I've absolutely been critical of you and not just letting go and letting loose in your things, but whatever. I do wonder, is that the real Timothy Chalamet? I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry I missed this. I'm so behind. That's definitely the real Timothy. I'm sure he's sitting here. Angry Timothy is scary. Uh, Thank you, Gone Girl. I hated Babylon the Whale, Fablemans, Hollywood Ends, Men. He wasn't a fan of Avatar 2, Black Panther, but he says, give me a break. Exactly. Give me a break. It's so stupid. Like, come on, guys. You guys, seriously, like I said, if you're gonna say something, if you're gonna have a comment, you can say that I'm harsh, that I'm, unfiltered, that I'm whatever. You cannot call me a shill like that. It points to you being stupid. I mean, be better. Be better. Come up with anything. Arrogant, not true. I'm just confident. Big difference. And that's all there is to it. So whatever. Timothy should play Barbie. I just said that I'm looking forward to Wonka, and then Timothy Chalamet's sitting in here and hammering me on the chat. Not cool, Timothy. But you know what is cool? My freaking mullet. You guys know that this is give me a like for the mullet, because I told you guys we were going to do a mullet, and it's there. It is a version of a mullet. It's the 2023 mullet extraordinaire, and I promised you guys that I would grow it out and we would do it, and it's happened. And I'm going to just let it keep going. And at some point, it'll be a haircut, but not today, not tomorrow. We're rolling to 23 Samson style. Is there a good movie, Jim? Good evening to you, buddy. A good movie Inside of Babylon. Shave an hour off. Yeah, that's the thing. The script's terrible. If you took Babylon and cut the beginning, all that first like half hour, and then squared up on. Remember, I told you, let's rewrite the film. When we rewrite Babylon, we have. I know it's cliche. I don't care. It works. You bring Margot Robbie driving into LA in 1920s Hollywood at wannabe actress. She meets Brad Pitt on the studio on a shoot, right? She's an extra. Brad Pitt's there. He does something. They meet. They have a relationship. And then we go from there. Right now, give me a like, because you know I'm right. This is a better script than Babylon. Right now, what I'm doing, and this is why, I'm going to be a script doctor. I'm going to at least read and say this is Margot Robbie working on a set, runs into Brad Pitt. They go to party at his house. Stuff happens that's goofy and stuff, but it's more grounded. Margot Robbie making the transition from nobody to star, then to, talkies. That whole thing is better because it's grounded, and you get rid of all the stuff. No Tobey Maguire, none of that stuff. All of it's gone, and you pare it down, and you make it a drama. The film's better. The film is actually an Oscars film at that point. Why do I've said it so many times, why am I here on a YouTube stream on a Sunday night on the first day of the year giving you a better script for Babylon than the one that Damien Chazelle came, the Wonder Kid Damien Chazelle? I just wrote a better script. I could write, no joke. I have someone I love. Paul and I are a team. If I wrote a Babylon script with Paul, it would be better than what Damien Chazelle. I know it. In fact, I think I might actually just do that just to prove. I'll put it online, you guys, but this is 100 times better than Babylon. Yep, the same idea. That's the story of this year. Me watching films that should have been good, but were destroyed by the script they were given. So it wasn't the actor's fault. It wasn't the roles. It wasn't the idea. It was the actual execution of the script. The Whale is number 1 on that list. Babylon's number 2. I would argue that Fablemans is on that list as well. These are movies, the script sucked, but the people that were in the film were good. And even the characters were good. Brendan Fraser in The Whale. I told you, the better film is put him in the middle of nowhere, USA, going into Walmart, fitting himself, his giant fat ass, into one of those motorized carts at Walmart. And then he's, I know that sounds cliche. It's still better than anything in The Whale. Have him run into somebody that's the manager of Walmart, and he, has a relationship with him, and it's more of an intimate character kind of situation. But you get to see the town. You get to see the gawkers looking at him out in the middle of nowhere, USA. This is a better film. I'm getting furious because I'm writing a better film right now, talking live to you. I'm writing a better script than The Whale and Babylon. That's terrible. It should never happen. Timothy, leave me. God, Timothy Chalamet is just relentless tonight. You could hate a movie and still highlight the talent. I do. I said that during The Whale. Everyone, give me a thumbs up right now for this. When I reviewed The Whale, did I not say it's a shame for a game and grounded Brendan Fraser that he's stuck inside of the worst script ever written for an awards film? I said that. So, and I never said that Margot Robbie or Brad Pitt are not very strong. Diego Calva's fine. I wouldn't put him in an awards. That's my opinion, not there. But I didn't say everything in Babylon's terrible. I literally said Margot Robbie's good. I like Brad Pitt every time. You just have a terrible script. So this is not Timothy. Welcome to the channel and welcome to not knowing what the hell you're talking about. Unbelievable. M3GAN Power. I can't wait. Tuesday stream here live. No spoilers. Tuesday night, I'm going to guess about 9:15, a little late on the live because I'll be driving from Century City. It's where the screening is. Actually, no, wait. I think it's early. So I think we'll go live. We'll be live at 9. It'll be 9. So we'll be regular 9, midnight. With that, no spoilers. M3GAN only and maybe whatever else is going on. I do want to mention one other thing. Knock on the Cabin is a wrong title. I don't know. I don't hate it. I want to mention one thing I just saw as we get ready. You know, we've been on for a while. One thing I didn't get to is that apparently Jeremy Renner is in critical condition tonight. You guys see this? Renner's in critical condition. He had a snow plowing accident. It doesn't say where he was, which is interesting. Wait. Okay, never mind. He's in Washoe County, Nevada. Washoe County. So apparently they had a ton of snow up there in the Reno area, and he had some issue with his snowplow. I don't know what the hell happened. Like, did he try to? I mean, listen. Here's the thing. The only thing I can think of is, did he try to stick some? Listen. I know this is total speculation. I totally get it. But here, think about this. If you are doing a snowplow, you know those things, and you crank them up. I used to live in Boston. I had a snowplow. And you're cranking on that thing, and it churns, right? It's got those things that go. Brrr. If you tried to clear that, let's just say, I'm just thinking this is terrible. Obviously, we pray this isn't the case. But if he tried to like get something out of the snowplow while it was running, it was jammed, and he pulled a piece of ice out. All of a sudden, it kept going, and it cut off one of his fingers. Who knows? I'm just telling you, an accident with a snowplow tells me he plowing snow, a weather-related accident. So either he maybe if he had one of those snow throwers, right? Snow thrower, then or he slipped on ice and hit his head. That could happen too. Because if you're out there doing that, when I lived in Boston, I remember one time we had like 3 feet of snow and I was out there trying to plow it and there was ice and shit. It was terrible. Like, you slip on the snow and you like bash your head or whatever, dude, you could be seriously injured. You're seeing that happen all over the place now. Let's not get into the politics of it. People all of a sudden falling over, right? They're just like, do, and boom, they fall over and you drill your head. If you all of a sudden go from totally there, present, ready to go, and all of a sudden I just went limp, right? Like, wham, and your head like hits the corner of the desk, dude, you're in bad shape. Who knows? And let's prayers up for him, but there's not a whole lot of. Hold on, here's an Instagram picture. Hold on for a second. Oh shit. Okay, hold up. So apparently, my bad. Let's get this in here. This is, let me share it. So this is his snowplow. So now as we dig into the story, this is the snowplow. So he obviously has a big ass snowplow. This is from Instagram. So I don't know, but I mean, there he is. He's driving it. But let's just say, let's pray, because I mean, obviously, if he's inside the cab, it's no big deal. Let's pray that he wasn't in front of it trying to do something, and the thing like jammed him and like took out his leg or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying that's a mean ass piece of equipment right there. And if you are in front of that and that thing's chewing you up, let's pray that it's not that. But there's very little details tonight. Just wanted to mention that because it was kind of a breaking news kind of situation. You guys know I used to be if you didn't know this, I used to be a TV news anchor. So I'm decent at breaking news. I don't have the facts. I mean, if I had facts, I would go more on this. But I really enjoy like the breaking news aspect of it. So there it is. There's a snowplow. That's not good. Let's again, prayers up for him. Let's get to a few more comments. Then we're going to roll out of here. Let's go about 120 or so. Another like 8-10 minutes. That's why Eric is smart. He moved to California because there's no snow. 100%. I mean, I love Boston, and Ken Murray's my boy. I think he was a snow truck. There it is. Yeah. Driving one or hit by one, not a snow. Okay. There it is. Yeah, Ken. Yeah. So yeah, Ken's still in Boston. I love Boston. It's a wonderful city. I just hate the winters suck. But you know, one thing I got to say is even in the winter, one thing I do kind of miss is when it's snow outside, there's nothing wrong with like going to a bar and feeling like you're cozy in there and drinking. Here, we got like crap weather this weekend, like lots of rain. It was like 58 and cloudy. Tomorrow's going to be like 52 for the Rose Bowl and cloudy. Not the kind of weather you came all the way from Penn State or from Utah to come enjoy the Southern California weather. We've had crap weather. It's like high of 55, but we don't have snow. Like I don't have to walk out of my joint and go, oh, wait a second, there's 3 feet of snow. I can't go anywhere. The roads aren't plowed. So I don't miss that. But Boston's an awesome city. Of all the other cities I lived in, doing news or anywhere else, Boston's my favorite other city. You know why? Because it's cosmopolitan. It's smart. You've got MIT, Harvard, BU, Boston College, Tufts. You got all those universities that are there, Northeastern. And because you have all those universities, you have smart people. So you cannot be stupid and live in Boston. That is very hard to do. You will not last long. It's certainly smarter city than LA. LA's not really a smart city. LA is a flashy city. LA is a city of style, but of substance. I mean, there's some. It's not, but Boston's like heady as hell. Earthquakes balance your chi. It's true, Patrick. It's so true. How many billion-dollar movies do you think there will be in 2023? Happy to finally catch you. Alex, thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the stream's always there for you guys the next day. It's not live, but it's like it's live to tape. That's a great question. I mean, clearly you have Mission Impossible. I would say Guardians is the best of the Marvel films for sure. The Flash depends on how good it is. Even if it's not part of the DCU, it's still, if it's a great film, if it's very well done by Machete, then it will make a lot of money. So we'll put that on the board. Those stand out. I mean, I think for sure, slam dunk billion-dollar film is MI7. Everything else we'll see. And, as we get closer, we can adjust. But Guardians, MI7, and whatever the hell the other one was. Those are your closest things. We'll find out. Yeah, you know what? I'll come over there. Here's the thing, though. Gore's going to the 35er. And by the way, if you live in LA, you're more than welcome to join us. I swear to you, we will be there. Gore, me, whoever shows up. 35er is awesome. You'll get a lot of Rose Bowl fans there. I will probably come over. I have to hit the gym, and then I'll come over there as long as the roads are clear, because the parade's in the morning. I don't like coming over there with the traffic. But I think I'll come over to 35. Just save me a stool. If you save me a stool, Scott, did I miss your super chat? I'll come back to it. Give me a second. Thank you for if I missed a super chat, just hit me in a comment. I'll find it. Kyle, member, thank you. Happy New Year to you. If I didn't say that before, Happy New Year to everybody out there. I'm very excited about 2023. Not just for obviously MMT, but for the movies that we're going to get, for the discussions we're going to have, for all the things that we have, and for, I think most importantly for everybody here, and certainly for me, is health. Right? We all have our health. I mean, that's beyond that. I don't think anything matters. Let's see. I'm missing. Here it is, Scott. Got it. I got it. Scott, thank you. Thank you. That's all you got to do. If you got a super chat and I missed it, you hit me there. Never watch an entire Universal trailer ever. Only watch half. I know, this is me. I say this all the time. Scott, if you haven't seen me say this is weird, because I say it all the time. Universal's the worst studio when it comes to trailers. The best if you want the whole movie. But if you want to have a little bit of cloudiness to your trailers, right? I want this to be a little nebulous. Do not watch a Universal trailer. It's like, here's the entire movie. Look at the Black Phone trailer. It's like the entire thing. They even have that, take the phone, take a step back, take a punch. Like, my God, that's the end of the film. So Universal likes to give you the whole movie. I don't know why they do that. I like to see a weird, very mysterious trailer, and you're not getting that with Universal. So it's 100% accurate. Do not watch a Universal trailer, because you'll be screwed for watching the entire movie. At least you'll see most of it. You might even see the final shot in there if they show it for 2 seconds. That's how bad the trailers are. Magic Mike 4 starring Super Jack. Listen, Alex, I could have. Listen, I'm not kidding, guys. Okay, I did. This is the end of the stream. I'm only gonna do it for 2 seconds. I promise you. This is not gonna be long. I promise you, it will not be long. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Twitter feed, and I'm not. I remember, I have a complete divorce from. Hold on, let me check Jeremy Renner real quick. See if there's any late breaking stuff. State critical but stable. Weather related, don't know. Okay, doesn't have too much information. Okay. So listen, I wished everyone a happy new year last night. Let me scroll through and find it. And all I'm going to say is, you guys can do right now, and I'm not going to do it anymore. This isn't going to be a physique critique. God, I tweet too much. Okay, here we go. So You guys listen. Listen to me. Listen to me. Right now, this is the physique critique. I'm not going to lie to you guys. First of all, zero Photoshop in this. When I say zero, I mean 0% Photoshop. Now, not anything. Not go through with a fine tooth comb and look for the edges. Like, oh, he cut. Nope, no. I will admit to this. This was chest day, okay, which tomorrow will be as well. So there's a pump. I'm not gonna lie, but everything you see is real. So this is your physique critique. Go for it. Go for it right now. And I can't do a physique critique of Jeremy Renner. That would be just terrible taste. But I'm just telling you guys, I think that I could be in Magic Mike 4. I could have been. Oh, I guess that they make one. Maybe they can make the grounded version of it. All right, that's it. That's it. 2 more minutes. Whatever, Rick. What? Listen, here's the point, though. It's clown. You think? No, it's not a clown. You know what that is? That is called motivation. That is motivation. If you take this for any other thing than motivation, then that's on you. Because I'll tell you, I said this so many times before. Do you know how many things motivate me in my life? Do you know how many things, like if I saw something like that, I would say, holy shit, I want to go to the gym tomorrow. And that's the point of it. It's to motivate other people. It's to elevate others. It's not about I'm already in shape. Why do I give a shit anymore? I don't care. I've proven it to myself. Now it's about proving it to everyone that you can do it too. So, Rick, that's a shit take. It's a shit take. Because it's not what this is about, man. You know what that is? That's the loser way to take this. It is. It's the loser way to take it. Don't be like that. Be stronger. Don't be like that. Take it the other way. Okay, let's do it. Let's do Freaky. Let's finish up Freaky. Here's the deal. For those of you, thank you for Patrick. See, Alex, you're taking it the right way. You're like, I don't understand. It's honest to God. Like, don't be like that. Take it for motivation. Okay, let's do it. You guys ready? Here it comes. We are going to do it one more time. I have to do it again because I need you guys to see this. And for those of you who haven't seen it, this is...
Hello, everyone.
Hold on. I got to mute.
This is Jeff P.
Give me 1 second.
It is.
I'm going to mute the sound. Okay. Make sure what I'm showing you you cannot hear this. Okay. Just tell me right now in the comments, can you hear it? By the way, this is MMT Gets Freaky. Now, we're going to wrap the stream after this, but I like doing this because I want to show you something, because what I want you to do, I just said use things for motivation. I want you to think about stuff. So when I watch this video, I want you guys to pay attention. This is Jeff P. I love this guy. He never shows himself. I don't know where he is, what he does. He is a conspiracy theory kind of guy. He believes that we have been lied to about our planet. Okay. So let me roll forward. Now listen, here's what we have here. So you guys see the video. This is, let me make it bigger. I'm going to put myself in the corner. Okay, so this is what he says is a striped planet. So watch this. Okay, so for those of you who watched it before, I want you to come around. You guys are going to say, the first thing you're going to say is this is a lens flare. Now, just give it a second. Let me scroll up. Okay, so watch. Okay, so this is over Finland. Okay, this is one of these like nature cams or whatever looking out over the horizon in the middle of Finland back on the 10th of last month. Okay, so watch in the corner of your screen the planet. Well, I say it's a planet. Watch it come into frame. Okay, here, ready? So we now have the sun is coming up. You're going to see in a minute. The sun's coming up. So right now you can see, look, that is shining. Now here's what you need to pay attention to. Do you see the line across the middle of that planet? Watch as it rotates. So it's not just sitting there, right? It is rotating around. And as I said, watch this. So there goes that. Now watch as it comes around. You're going to see a distinct X right there. Do you see the X? You guys have heard about Planet X, right? Okay, now you guys notice the sun's up? Okay, so let's roll it back one more second. Let me roll back 15. Okay, let's let it play one more time. Watch it roll through. Here comes the sun. It's clearly bouncing off that object. Because look, the sun, first of all, the sun is in front of that object. Do you guys see that? The sun is here. The object is behind it. You can clearly see because there's some space between the sun and that object. Okay? I'm being an objective reporter here. And there it goes. As it comes around, it is rotating like a planet would rotate. There's your X with a line that went all the way around. Okay. So the pattern stayed. The pattern stays with this thing. It is not a lens flare. It is some kind of thing that is literally, you can see the sun, and then watch as the sun comes up. There it is. It's still there. And then eventually, let's roll. I think he rolls back. It's gone, right? So there it goes. Look, as the sun comes up, it disappears because the sun, like something is obscuring whatever this thing is. But if you guys can see, it almost looks like there's like a cloak over it or something. What do you guys think? Let's do the comments real quick. Let's do the comments. Hit me at the comments and tell me you don't see that. We should have the. I don't need another copyright strike where they go, this is the X-Files thing set. Oh, okay. Hold on. You want to? Okay, you got it. I got you. You want to have the lighting? Okay, hold up. You know what I'll do? I will. Hold up. Give me 2 seconds. I got to find the thing. Okay, I will change. I always say that I do this. So here we go. MMT gets freaky, goes red, full red. Okay, so we are red tonight as we do that. That was good. Okay, so we got red for this. Thank you for that, Alex. I think that's a good color. Solomon, I believe you, man. I always believe that we are not the only ones in the universe. Planet X have been discussed, hasn't it? That's what I'm trying to say here. Thank you, Solomon, for having an open mind. I'm just telling you. Do you think? Here's the other half of this. Is I've said this in the last time we did this. Every time I'll show you this. Why would they ever tell you that this is real? Why would anyone in their right mind in the government or NASA or anything tell you that there is a planet that is that damn close? That's closer than the moon. That's right on top of us. So here's the question. If a planet is sitting that close to us, I'm just going logical extension here. Are we even revolving around the sun? Or is the sun revolving around us? The sun's going around that. It's in front of it. What the hell is going on with this thing? And don't tell me it's CGI. This Jeff P. dude, this is not CGI. No one made it. No, come on, guy. No one sits around and makes a CGI sky like that in like, here's the planet with an X. Nobody is doing that. I mean, that's like, that would be pathetic. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's weird. I'm like, this is. All right, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I'm absolutely exhausted. You guys rock, you roll. We're going to have an amazing 20. I don't know. Listen, but Patrick, let me say this: amazing 2023. I don't know about time. Listen. Here's what you have to think, Patrick. Is if what I just showed you, this planet X is really there and it's revolving like outside of our door, everything you've been told is a lie. Now, I understand that Core's in here. I'm not saying I didn't say it's a flat Earth. I didn't say that. I'm just saying at this point, listen to me. This is what I'm going to say to you, and then we'll wrap the stream. At this point, going into 2023, a resolution for all of us should be to have an open mind about every single thing that you encounter and to not close off anything. And that includes reviews for me. That's a resolution, which I don't. I'm not. I'm objective. I swear to you I am. But if you aren't, get there. And when I show you a video like that, say, wait a second. And then start to say, well, wait, maybe if that was a lie. Listen, I'm not going to tell you what happened. But in my life, I came across something that I learned was a lie. And when I found out that, I started to think what else was a lie. And if you go back to the last 2 years of what we were told about COVID, oh no, Weber's doing his thing. But this is critical thinking. If you believed and went back to everything we were told and then so we are where we are now, you would start to say, wait a second, there were lies in there. So if there were lies there, why wouldn't there be lies somewhere else? Because I don't believe that. Do you think they have our best interests in mind? Do you really? That's all I got to say. I don't think they do. But that's my opinion. We're not going to do a whole thing about that. But I'm just telling you that video of what I just showed you looked real to me. I do need to watch Severance. I probably would like. I beat Gore all day, all night. All day, all night. Thank you. Is that YTCDY? Here comes the sun. Congrats on the show. Your great, accurate reviews. Thank you. Appreciate that. Really do. I'm going to change the lighting back to where it was because MMT Gets Freaky is over. So we're going back to purple. I think it's a little more appeasing. It's more chill, but we might do a red one on Tuesday for M3GAN. M3GAN actually is this color, so we'll probably keep it the same. Guys, thank you again. That's no moon. It's not a moon. What is that? I don't know what it is. You guys tell me. That's going to do it for tonight. We're back on Tuesday. MMT live on Tuesday night. M3GAN, M3GAN, live thoughts coming out of that film, 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern. Zero spoilers for that. I mean, what are the... There's a killer doll and she goes bonkers and kills everyone but the little girl. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but that's probably it, right? That's the movie. But I'm not going to do that. We'll talk about M3GAN and we'll talk about box office prediction after I see the movie. That'll give me a better idea. Right now I have it outperforming. If I really like it, then we're going to take that number even higher. We could see something like The Black Phone. It's hitting at the right time. Universal's worked it perfectly. I'll let you know about M3GAN coming up on Tuesday. Welcome to 2023, guys. We're going to have a hell of a lot of fun here on MMT. I'll see you back here Tuesday night. MMT is out live from Los Angeles.